Is it really a surprise to me that they're taking you seriously? I always had the very best seats, now they're calling you off of the streets. Your face is now a sharpened jaw, and all these women are in shock and awe. That such a nice guy could be so unrefined. It's like an ancient curse, and what you leave me was worse. I don't care. There's no one around in the lot for us to be seen and call on. And I've been hoarding all your tapes again. I know you got your spotted ten. And I'll be waiting at my window, knowing how these conversations tend to go. Your eyes don't read them right, but I can't stop thinking of this one. It's like an ancient curse, and what you leave me was worse. Just for now.
Hey gamers, welcome to episode 4, I think, Cinema Curse, a wild new experiment in talking about movies online. I'm your faithful lead. I don't know. I'm one of these guys. These are my buddies behind me. They counsel me on all decisions. Today we're talking. I fucked up the order I usually say this stuff. Today we are talking William Friedkin, rest in peace. I don't want to make too many jokes at this point when I'm introducing that idea. One of the last remaining of the new Hollywood sort of camp, and specifically per Edwin's request, I sent him a thing and I was like, "Hey, what are movies you want to talk about?" And this is one of the ones he sent me. And I thought that'd be a cool idea. We should talk To Live and Die in L.A. and Bill Friedkin. And yeah, my name, I was introducing myself earlier and I fucked it up, is Connor Lloyd Cruz, and I am joined as always by the Joey Chestnut of talking about movies, Edwin Gomez.
Hello, America. Back at it again. Uncensored as always. Living free. And also to live and die in LA.
An experience
From
we're
the
all acquainted with.
Connor, you let me finish. But you gotta live and die in this fucking city.
Really long
It's
pause.
the only way to survive. Adios, amigo. Only Alex would get that reference. Because we saw it on 35.
I saw it with you.
Yeah, we saw it with a lot of people. We
I
saw it in the world.
I understand the Amigo reference. It's from the movie.
Oh. Okay, never mind then.
A
I
lot of
retract
people.
my statement.
Yeah.
Also with us,
How's it going, everybody? Alex Olivier, Secret Movie Club head projectionist here, sorcering and connecting in France.
and also returning from Cougar Town or whatever.
I'm live from the set of Hot in Cleveland.
Oh, that's what it is.
I'm Casey Young. I'm a 10 in Cleveland. I'm a 2 in LA.
Aren't we all? But yeah, thanks guys for joining us today. I want to say thank you to Marina Sakimoto and her band Shenkin for the use of our opening theme, Curse, off the EP She Nods. Yeah, I guess let's talk about To Live and Die in LA. I'm gonna change my background like I always do. I like this shot.
Ooh.
Do you, Edwin? This is one of your movies. Do you want to set up To Live and Die in L.A.? Tell people if you were introducing. Give us a general synopsis. No big spoilers, but tell us what the movie is about. What happens?
Well, it's about LA. It's about the city. It's about what we live in and what's in it. Willem Dafoe plays a counterfeit dealer who makes phony money to sell to these crime people. William Pearson plays an FBI agent who has taken down because his partner was killed by him, and it's just an extraordinary motion picture. That's pretty much all I got because there's really not that much to explain about it, but it's just a wild picture. Excuse me. I think I said that horribly. I'm pretty sure I did.
Yeah, well, I think we'll fill in the blanks, but I did want to do a couple little things real quick. One is just so Alex doesn't have to hold his mug up the whole time. I'm wearing an Exorcist shirt. I got this from Halloween Horror Nights a year or two ago. And you've got an Exorcist mug. And I also wanted to say, I'm doing this, if anyone's specifically watching all my streams, I've been, for the evening ones, been drinking wine more. And I got this sparkling rosé that I've just been chilling in the fridge. And so I'm opening it up on stream for Mr. Friedkin. It's got like a traditional bottle cap, and I'm having a hell of a time getting it off, looking like a real beta cuck, low soy, all the estrogen in the LA water has really gotten to me. What the fuck?
Where the hell's my TV control?
This is just great. While I'm doing this, does somebody else want to explain To Live and Die in LA better?
It also stars Jane Leeves as Serena, our sexy, bisexual, silent. What does she do? She's a stripper. I don't.
Yeah, she's a stripper.
Yeah, your sexy bisexual stripper.
Well, it also
That's crime.
It also stars Willem Dafoe, featured behind both myself and Alex. I'm really distracted by this bottle thing. Why? Because this is just a normal bottle. Is this a special bottle? Do I need a special? This is just a normal bottle cap, right?
That's
Yeah.
You might need a. If you can't get it off, I would assume that you need a. Is that like a? What is it? The openers.
Yeah, I
You might need an opener.
I got an opener.
Oh.
Right here.
Then I don't know what to tell you. That looks like a normal bottle.
What the fuck?
There's a lot of crime in the film. Many crimes. There's a really great twist involving a major crime.
Mm-hmm.
True.
Yeah. Early John Turturro in the movie as well.
That's right. John Turturro's in it. Which starts off amazingly because there's a whole sequence where they're like checking the money if it's fake, and William Pierce like basically waiting like, is it fake? Is it fake? He's like, yep, go get him. And like, dude, it's great. It's a great foot chase sequence. Like, no.
Right.
There is
Lots
also
of great foot chases.
Yeah.
There's a lot of great foot chases.
Yeah,
Yeah, and a lot of people get hit in the nuts. That I noticed. A lot of people get hit in the genitals a lot. I don't know why.
You
I don't
see
know why
a lot
that
of
thing.
nuts.
You see a lot
Yeah,
of
you do.
nuts.
You do.
Yeah. I'll never forget Willem Dafoe nakedly sitting by his fireplace.
Yeah, that was a set piece right there.
It didn't confuse Mr. Friedkin like it did Mr. Von Trier.
Yeah.
Willem
No,
Dafoe's naked.
Von Trier is a schmuck. Friedkin
Chad
is like,
freaking virgin Jumanji. Yeah, it's a real sexy movie. I mean, crime's already pretty sexy, but He turned it
Yeah.
up to an 11.
Oh yeah.
Oh, he
Moral of the
did.
movie
And
is
want to know something? He was not
Yeah.
doing any drugs whatsoever when he was making that movie. He was a sober ass motherfucker.
He was high off of all the bare ass.
That's true.
Off of
That's
cinema.
true. It's most likely true. But it's got a bag with masters. Yeah. It's in the trailer.
There's
It's in the trailer. It's in the trailer.
I haven't seen the trailer.
The original
I
trailer
only-
for the movie is actually like one of the most incredible old trailers. It's so frenetically cut together. It's like a panic. It's like anxiety for
The one that's Scope, the trailer that's Scope.
I don't know, the old one on YouTube. You search. It's like the first one on YouTube when you search like.
I found one at Scope, and it's like there's like narration and shit
No,
like
then
that, and
it's not that one.
well, wherever the fuck it is, I don't care. Like the one we got, man. Got the Wang Chun.
Also, what do you mean
dude.
Scope? The movie isn't Scope. The movie's in
I know, but
185.
the trailer said it was Scope. I don't know. I could be wrong.
You guys keep talking. I'm gonna go get a different bottle opener and see if this will help. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
You know, this freaking guy, man. This one crazy motherfucker, man. That guy did Connection.
So, I mean, I guess we should also just mention that in case anyone doesn't know, he died like a week and a half ago or so.
Yeah.
He did,
Wow.
and I,
Yeah.
and in the first this month, but no, the beginning of this month, we saw To Live and Die in LA at the Academy Museum on 35.
Yeah, we saw the movie about a week before he passed.
Yeah,
Maybe slightly less. Yeah.
and who knew that just came out of nowhere? Who fucking knew?
Well, I think he had probably been in poor health for a little bit. I know he had to cancel a Beyond Fest appearance about a year ago, and I actually myself saw The Exorcist at the Fine Arts Theater in Beverly Hills back in April. He was supposed to do a Q&A, but he ended up canceling after the movie. They just announced that he had a stomach bug, but I'm pretty sure that was just them being polite, that he wasn't in poor health, or that he wasn't in good health.
Well, you know what's good? We finally get to see his movies on 35.
That's
So-
not.
Edwin,
You know what's
What?
funny? I guess we could talk about that. Let's talk about To Live and Die in LA first, and then we'll come back to Friedkin as a whole.
I'm just saying, man.
No,
I'm
I
just
don't.
saying.
Obviously, you're being that way, but I grimly had the same thought. To be honest, I guess we can talk about this here. Is just Friedkin. I couldn't find like actual proof of this online, but it's kind of known. You know, we've all now worked for various lengths of time and been next to the repertory theater industry in LA, exhibition, like movie stuff, and I think it's generally kind of known. I don't think he did it really like post-pandemic, but for a long time it was known that if you showed a Friedkin movie on 35 millimeter film in LA, there was a decent chance that William Friedkin would show up himself and make you show it on digital. That was sort of a thing, or well, generally speaking, people would advise against you doing it on film, and then there were specific times. I heard stories of specific times where he would show up, and obviously,
Well, guess what?
obviously
He
his
did.
past. What?
He did recently. Well, probably like last year. The Academy struck a new 35 print of The French Connection. After near screening, dude shows up, format changes to a 4K DCP, and instead of the brand new
4K.
35 print. Yeah, Casey!
Yeah.
Take 4K and burn it in hell!
I mean, people leave complicated legacies. let's just say that. And obviously, and you know, technically, legally, you never know. Maybe it'll be harder to, because they'll enforce his wishes more or something. I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah,
But
that will just haunt the theater.
he's just gonna haunt. He's just gonna. I got the bottle open, by the way. So cheers to Mr.
Hey,
Friedkin.
cheers to Bill, my
Billy.
man.
Billy. Don't be a hero. Don't be a fool. Na, 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 na.
Oh,
Well,
man.
as
But to be honest, as someone who's never been like as much of a 35 millimeter purist, I always found those William Friedkin stories kind of funny and amusing in a way where it's like that's kind of funny.
when you had stepped away to get another bottle opener, Edwin and I were just saying we actually saw 35 of To Live and Die in LA
Oh, nice.
less than a week before William passed, and
Nice.
well, yeah. But I mean, hey, we saw it on 35.
The way it was meant to be seen.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah,
Brent,
It looks amazing.
yeah.
have you seen a case?
What?
Have you seen it on 35 case? Have you seen it on 35?
No.
That's what I
The
thought.
2 times it's screened? No. I wasn't alive when it came out.
Well, guess what, Case? They played the Bev, they played Los Feliz, they played the Academy.
I'm gonna watch the 4K.
The 4K is probably great looking. It's what Kino Lorber, right?
Uh,
Oh, yeah,
I'm
man.
not sure.
Conspiracy military lies, man.
Oh my goodness. I'm getting tired.
I watched the Blu-ray, so.
Yeah.
Well, I watched the film print.
I should
watched
say-
it on my phone.
When we saw it at the Academy Museum, it was introduced by, I don't remember his name, but he's Wes
No.
Anderson's cinematographer, the guy who shot like all the Wes Anderson movies.
Robert
and he was
Yeoman or
actually,
whatever?
yes, yeah, thank you. He was actually the second unit DP on To Live and Die in LA, and he ended up taking over the lion's share from Robbie Mueller. I don't remember why Mueller had to kind of step away from it, but he ended up shooting the majority of the movie. And he also shot Repo Man. And so I remember he said that it was Friedkin's goal to shoot To Live and Die in LA, not like any other movie that we see in LA, because it's all Hollywood, Beverly Hills, that sort of stuff. But he gave it the kind of, Repo Man, like gritty industrial aesthetic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, yeah, 100%. It's a beautiful looking film. This is the second time I'd ever watched it. I loved the also the like emphasis on like process. I always love those things, like specifically
Yeah.
like how much you see of Willem Dafoe counterfeiting the bills. Is just so interesting.
Totally.
And-
I could listen to Wang Chung and watch Willem Dafoe counterfeit for the majority of the movie, and I would be happy.
Yeah. And obviously Defoe's great. And that one big chase scene, like 2/3 of the way through the movie is pretty phenomenal.
Yeah.
And
That was
Better-
another thing
Better
Yeoman
than
said.
connection. Better than
Yeah.
connection.
According to him, Friedkin wanted to one up his own movie, The French Connection, because that was the one everyone talked about, the chase scene in The French Connection. So he wanted to do himself one better,
which
with
is a
this
great
movie, To Live and
chase
Die.
scene in French Connection.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. They're both astounding, but I actually kind of feel like he pulled it off. I love The French Connection, but this one, it's To Live and Die in LA. It's a little bit better. It's a little more tied into the character of
Yeah.
the William Peterson character, which I think makes it stronger. It's also just totally thrilling.
Yeah, 100%.
Yes.
Yes.
I think it especially in a chase, I think it's a lot more exhilarating to be rooting for the chaser versus the being
Casey,
chased.
yeah.
Yeah, I because then you also have the I really hope they catch this guy, which is
Yeah.
essentially the whole movie. They're constantly being like, and the audience is like, not again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Isn't the first? Am I wrong, or is it Are they being chased the whole time, or is it they're chasing a guy and then they're being chased, or does it go back and forth a little bit?
To Live and Die in LA.
Yeah.
I feel like they're only chased when in the twist.
Yeah.
I don't want to say, of course, but
Yeah,
I don't
I mean-
remember another time they're being chased.
Well, aren't they all being in the big chase scene at the very end of it? They're all being like
Yeah.
in the cars.
Yeah, uh, uh, somebody else think of it. I can't think of anything.
Yeah.
Well,
No,
if you're talking about
I
after
feel like it's
the twist, that moment happens, they were after that occurs, then they're being chased by a lot of people.
yeah. No, I meant
But
more literally, like structurally in the big chase sequence, because the big chase sequence kind of has two halves. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
there's like a chase, and then there's like they pause for a little bit, and some stuff happens, and then like the chase
yeah, yeah,
continues essentially. And that whole scene, they're trying to get away from the people trying to get the Asian man.
yes, yeah.
yeah.
Not the terminology they use, but they are old cops. So, or well, they're not old, but they're old time wise.
They were old, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I will say, I'm not super. I like William Peterson in this, but I'm not super into William Peterson. I gotta be honest.
How
Wow.
dare you, man?
I just gotta be
I
honest. I'm not super
I
into William Peterson.
I grew up on CSI,
Yeah.
and I was like, "Why is this dude billed first? I don't know who this guy is." And then obviously when I got older, I saw Manhunter, and now I've seen this. I'm like, oh yeah, this is my
Yeah.
dude right here, Gil Grissom.
But I'll be even harsher. We haven't even mentioned him. And so that proves my point a little bit. I remain very unconvinced by the partner, the new partner.
Yeah, I thought
What's
it
wrong
was
with
Steve Gutenberg for a hot minute. So that tells you I don't know who he is.
Hey, man, that guy's great. That's a super unappreciated actor, man. Super
I think-
unappreciated.
I
He's
think
just-
at least in the sorry, somebody
No,
else.
no.
Sorry.
I was gonna say he does a fine job. He's just swimming among titans. I
Yeah.
mean, Willem Dafoe, Turturro. I know kind of you weren't hot on Peterson, but I thought he walked a very fine line of like charisma, but also scumminess,
Yeah.
which is like his character.
I like him. I think on a revisit I'll like him. And I actually like the partner in most of the movie, but I find the we won't open it up to spoilers yet, but because I don't even necessarily know if we need to get into specifics about the spoilers, but the ending of the movie with the partner I found to be is almost like laughable, like because he looks like a kid playing dress up at the end of the movie when he's supposed to be like cool and badass or whatever. And I like it's funny. I really like the movie, but there's like a beat at the end and the beat at the very beginning that both like threw me off the first time I watched it. Rewatching it, it was like I got it, you know what I mean, and I really liked it. But the first time I watched it, I was kind of like, what? Because there's that beat, and then at the very beginning, I think the beat when they're chasing the guy down on the roof and they shoot him, and then it cuts to like stock footage of an explosion, and then it cuts to them sitting down, like, ooh, that was tough, huh? Like that, and there's like no emergency stuff going on. That moment also throws me off, and I wonder if that was like maybe a budget thing, potentially, like there where they couldn't get like emergency vehicles there for that scene.
Probably.
It seemed like there needed to be like more of an impact or something.
Yeah, it's almost like a tonal fake out at the beginning. The way the movie opens, if you had never seen it, and if you know nothing about it, it almost feels like it's setting itself up to be like a Lethal Weapon style, like buddy comedy almost.
He literally
And
says,
then-
"I'm getting too old for this shit."
Yeah, totally.
Yeah,
Before even Lethal Weapon even comes out.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but then the rest of the movie is like diametrically nothing like that. It's just like miserable look into darkness, but beautifully done.
Yeah, it kind of brushes up against some like cop cliches, but it's doing them so genuinely and so darkly that it never comes off as like bullshit. Like the whole thing where he's like into bungee jumping or whatever. Like you could totally see like the bad version of this movie, probably in the 90s, probably starring Chris Klein in the William Peterson role. You can see that version where that's like you know what I mean, like doesn't work. But in this movie, they actually like there's that great moment in the big car chase sequence where they cut to from like a close up of William Peterson to him skydiving, sort of implying because there's like a question early on about like why do you do this stuff, and it's like, oh, clearly he gets off, like maybe not literally sexually, but he really likes living dangerously and fucking around and putting himself and other people's lives in danger in a way that's genuinely fucked up and not just like a bullshit like cop like you're out of control, you know.
Yeah, I did enjoy that parallel. I mean, had it not been obvious already, but it was like, oh yeah, this guy's fucked up.
Yeah, and I think that's the Friedkin touch because he had pretty much done the same thing in The French Connection. He just sort of turned it up in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess that's why Michael Mann picked him for Manhunter, because I think he knew he could play a calmer character instead of a high energetic guy trying to take on this one dude. You know, because there's a huge difference between roles when Peterson did this and when he also did Manhunter, which in fair case I love Manhunter a little bit more for Peterson's role because he's not, because he could be he was a total asshole in the movie, but he's still enjoyable. But preferably, I like him a lot more in Manhunter.
Edwin, do you think you could maybe not play the video game while you're at least talking to us?
Right. I was having my little.
That was
Live and die.
That was a good point, though. Yes, thank you. Good engagement.
Gil Grissom on CSI is also he's a pacifist.
Casey, is he Will Graham? I don't think so, Case. I don't think so. He ain't no Will Graham, man. It's just you and me now, sports.
Have you seen CSI?
No, I don't want to.
Okay, so then I feel like I've seen Manhunter, so I can.
You know who directed an episode of CSI?
I do not.
Quentin Tarantino.
Whoa, that's a good pick.
2 episodes, yeah.
You know, Friedkin did also.
Oh wow! Well then, there you go. That tells you everything you need to know about CSI, Edwin.
Yeah,
man. I want film friends. I want pictures.
The really good episodes of CSI, I do think, are basically like quasi Tarantino Friedkin episodes. Like they have, as it went on, they had some cheesy stuff, but I do think like when they were like the same thing with the early days with Law and Order, when they had those earlier episodes, they could really get into. They had some good stuff on.
Yeah,
there.
I remember. I mean, this maybe seems quaint, but like I do remember that conversation when CSI started about how like violent and gross it was for like a prime.
It was
time
nasty.
Show. Yeah.
Even compared to now, it's not. I mean, I know now we're kind of on a like a very what is that, like childish decline, but even now it's gnarly.
I just want to say hi to Croc and Heidi in the chat.
Who's Croc and Heidi?
My friends.
Croc and Heidi?
They're commenting.
Oh, your friends?
They're
what?
They're chatting.
They're chatting about the world. About
Everybody comment your favorite episode of Hot in Cleveland.
What the fuck is Hot in Cleveland, man? We're talking about LA, man. We're talking about LA. All right?
This is Hot in Cleveland, man. I keep talking about it.
You're not in Cleveland, you're in LA.
It's a name of a show.
Well, the show sounds awful.
Edwin, I wonder if you'll agree with me. I think To Live and Die in LA is Friedkin's masterpiece. Would you say the same?
Second masterpiece, yes, I will say that.
Are you going to say Cruising is the first?
No, Sorcerer.
Okay, yeah. I mean, all great movies. But I was going to say also that while I consider To Live and Die in LA his best film among a plethora of great films that he made, it's also one that I think a lot of people consider the end of his like great movies era. And he made a bunch after that are semi well regarded, but I don't think necessarily held in the same esteem as his like 70s and early 80s.
No, he did Rampage, which was a mess.
Yeah, I mean, he did like Rules of Engagement. That
one I did enjoy. I liked Rules of Engagement. I thought that was a pretty good movie.
Right.
Also,
But like
Jay.
none of them are really kind of reaching the same
Yeah.
No,
the same
no.
heights that he had. So I mean, to me it kind of makes sense. He went out like of
With
that
a
era
bang.
on his brightest film.
That's
But I
right.
still
he did.
also I have to see a bunch. I've never seen like The Hunted or Jade, or I've still got a bunch to watch. Blue Chips as well.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, Blue Pit in the past.
before we
Blue
talk a little bit
Chips.
about him as a whole, is there anything anybody else wants to say about To Live and Die in L.A.?
Smash piece.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'll just reiterate. I think it's his greatest film. The Exorcist would probably be like the closest I think he came, but I think To Live and Die in LA is his masterpiece.
I think it's pretty electric.
Wang Chung.
Banger.
Wang Chung, man.
Wang
Oh, yeah.
Chung.
That score also rips. I mean, it's an OG score, original
is.
for
Oh,
the
yeah,
movie
man.
by Wang Chung.
That is a good score. Let's talk about Bill and on all of his other films. I noticed Croc. One of the things he said was that they're making a new Exorcist, which I don't think we'll talk about here
I
today.
saw the trailer at the Chinese City Walk, and I didn't expect it
The
until
Chinese and the City Walk are
Chinese
two
City
different
Walk?
theaters.
Oh, I mean,
You saw it twice.
Yeah.
I saw the video. I saw the Chinese. I saw the Chinese, and it blew my mind away because I didn't expect to be a new Exorcist trailer. As soon as the theme song started to play, like, oh shit, this is Exorcist, dude! And then look, and then doing the thing with the flashes. Oh shit, dude!
It's a pretty good trailer.
Yeah, it's a great trailer.
I saw Oppenheimer with my friend a couple days ago, and they showed the Exorcist trailer, and when Leslie Odom Jr. gives his line, don't know why I love it so much, but the baby, you've been gone 3 days.
Yeah.
My friend turned to me and went, he is scrumptious.
It's got Ann Dowd in it, and she's a great character
She's great.
actor. She's like we don't have as many like female like women character actors. You know what I mean? And like the same way, and
Sure.
she might be one of our best. Ann Dowd,
She's awesome.
probably most famous for Hereditary and The Leftovers, I would say.
Mhm.
Yeah. Or The Handmaid's Tale also.
Yeah, that too. For sure. Yeah, I mean, I think I wasn't, I'm not super familiar with Friedkin. We're doing this for the episode, but I mean, I think this is just something we'll do when like a major filmmaker passes. It makes sense. It's a good way to look back and see, and I did do some catching up. I watched, I rewatched To Live and Die in LA, and I watched Cruising earlier in the summer, and I watched 3 movies of his this last week that I hadn't seen. Because you're talking about like his last notable movies. 2 of the movies I guess I'll talk about is his 2 collaborations with Tracy Letts, Bug
Ooh.
and Killer Joe, the playwright, which I think are probably his most notable, like certainly post 90s movies.
Yeah.
And probably post
Killer
80s.
Killer Joe, I have no feeling for. I don't give a shit about the movie whatsoever.
What about Bug?
Bug, I need to see. I heard it's pretty interesting.
I'm actually with Edwin here. Also, I have no love for Killer Joe.
Yeah.
But one sick bastard does.
Who?
Killer.
Oh no. It's someone me and Alex knows.
Oh, it's a riddle.
Oh, Riddle. It's me.
Yeah, Alex, you know. Alex, you know.
It's me.
He's talking about a regular.
No, not you. Not you.
It's
you don't
me.
like worship it. It's not you, Connor.
I just watched
You
it for the
don't
first time last night. Who knows? Maybe in a year I will worship it. I actually liked it.
No.
I liked it quite a bit, to be honest. I totally get where you're coming from, Alex, 100%. I don't think it read quite that same way to me. And I just really liked movies that are like really fucked up. Like if a movie can like genuinely have me be like, for like, like 10-minute stretch, like that will usually endear me a lot to the movie. And I mean, there's a couple of sequences in that movie that are pretty intense, but there's one pretty big one towards the end that is I kind of knew what was gonna happen in it, and I guess we won't talk about it. We won't quote unquote spoil it for people, other than maybe look up like trigger warnings for the movie if you're sensitive to sexual violence, because it is pretty intense. But I also like the Texas stuff. So
You're from Texas.
as a Texan.
Wow.
Have you seen that one, Casey?
No, I can tell you, Sorcerer, People versus Paul Crump, and what are we talking about? To Live and Die in L.A. Those are the three kids I've seen.
Okay.
So just for reference, don't spoil anything for me, you guys.
All right, we won't spoil anything. You haven't seen The Exorcist?
Oh, sorry, and The Exorcist. I don't like The Exorcist,
Oh.
so that's why I forgot.
Whoa!
You don't like The Exorcist? We
Nope,
won't get too
I
much into
think
The
it's
Exorcist, because I could
bad.
see us just talking about The Exorcist on an episode one day,
Yeah.
or like The Exorcist series or something. But
Part two's mash.
that one's debatable. I haven't seen part 2.
Part 2 is
Part
not a
two?
masterpiece. I can
Fucking
say
mash.
really confidently.
I think the first one.
Connor.
I love the first one.
Yeah.
First one's
Yeah.
great, and I really really like the third one, which I've seen that one as well.
Third one is amazing. Yeah.
It's got Brad Dwarf in it.
It's very good. Yeah, get Brad Dourif giving a all-time top tier weirdo Brad Dourif performance.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Exorcist and Sorcerer are my two favorites. I think Sorcerer specifically is my favorite. It's been a while since I've seen either. I really needed to rewatch Sorcerer. But
Sorcerer is like magic.
yeah, it's pretty great. It's if people don't know, Sorcerer is a remake of a French film, The Wages of Fear, and about some men who I think it's French, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's by H.G. Clouseau.
About these men who are transporting 2 truckloads of dynamite, and I forget the exactly. Does it literally take till the halfway point before they leave in the movie? Or is it?
Yeah, it's
earlier?
like an hour. It's a 2-hour movie, and I think it's like around the hour mark is when they get going. with the
Because
trucks.
they spend the first half of the movie just setting up the guys and setting up the situation, and that stuff's great. And then when you get to them actually doing the job, it's just like the most tense thing you've just ever seen. And when I think they shot it like they probably were like almost too like overzealous in some of the shooting. It sounds like it almost sounds like they could have gotten like people killed or hurt, because some of the stuff with like the trucks and the rain and all that stuff sounded pretty intense. But it's pretty incredible looking. And they're one of my favorite things to think about with Sorcerer. Sorcerer famously opened like a week after Star Wars or a week before Star Wars, within a week of the original Star Wars, and essentially got like, and I think before, if you had asked people a couple of months before that, they would have said like, oh, Sorcerer is going to do well. Who cares about Star Wars? And it's funny because there's a bank near me that has a mural of downtown Hollywood, like a painting of it really big, and it has the Chinese theater in it, and the Chinese theater is specifically advertising Sorcerer as playing at it, which gives you like an exact like 1 or 2 week window as to when that mural was painted, or at the very least when the reference photo for the mural was taken. And it's just funny. I I always like that. I remember one time I was at that bank and I was like, "Can I take a picture of this?" And you could tell the lady was like she was concerned I was like trying to case the place or something. um,
Man.
Trying to be nerds, man. Just trying to be nerds.
yeah.
When William Friedkin passed, I actually watched. There's this like conversation on YouTube. You can watch. It's like 2 hours between him and other director Nicholas Winding Refn. And
Oh man, that's a good one.
yeah, they're just two insane people in a room together. So it's interesting, and they mostly talk about Sorcerer. But one thing that I remember Friedkin was corrected Refn about when he mentioned it is that he was adamant that Sorcerer wasn't a remake of The Wages of Fear, but rather it was just another adaptation of the same source novel.
True. Yes.
Which is interesting because both of the movies are so incredibly similar.
Yeah. Well, I mean that is a thing that you always come up against where like technically like when the Coen Brothers True Grit came out, like
Yeah.
is
I know
it-
Sofia Coppola said the same thing about The Beguiled. It's not a remake; it's another adaptation.
So that's one of those nomenclature things.
Yeah.
It's like when somebody like I've seen people, they'll say that like an earlier movie in a series, like let's say like Die Hard 1, they'll say that the first Die Hard is a prequel to Die Hard 2, and it's like, well, no.
Yeah.
It's prequel is like a specific term for a movie that comes later but is set earlier, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It's not.
Oh yeah. Well,
just-
I'm only mentioning it because I had always just figured it was a remake, and I didn't even. That was the first I learned of that watching that video.
Oh, that's cool. I also watched Cruising, and I liked it. I will say, not to upset everyone, it's probably my least favorite of his films that I've watched. Out of the 7 films, it felt, especially in contrast to Live and Die in L.A., the investigation part of it felt a little thin. You know what I mean? Like what is the, like, To Live and Die in L.A. and even like The French Connection have these great builds of like the cop work of like, okay, this person knows this person and da 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 da. And so I love like true crime investigating stuff, and I feel like Cruising was a little thin on that and a little more thick on Al Pacino like standing around in gay bars and looking around at gay men, but which fair, but it definitely my least favorite of his things, but still I would say a very good movie.
You know what's great about it? Al Bundy's in it.
Al Bundy.
Yeah. Married with Children.
The actor or the character?
Yeah, the actor. Have you not seen Married with Children?
I've seen.
Pacino's like looking around, and then there's just Ed O'Neill just like just hanging out.
Well, Ed O'Neill plays a cop in the movie, so
I'm sorry. I thought you said Al Bundy. My bad.
okay.
Do you guys know the People versus Paul Crump story? I've been telling it to like anybody who'll listen.
No, is that a documentary he made?
Yeah. It was his first movie.
Okay.
So I watched this intro that he did for it at a like film Cinematech kind of thing in Chicago, I think it was, and he was talking about making the movie. So he was like, I was working in TV, specifically in news, and he was like, I had never made a movie before, didn't know how to make it, and then he's like, do not judge this movie. It's bad. Do not judge it. I'm embarrassed by it, but like, just bear with me. But then he goes on to tell this story. He's like, I found out by this. People versus Paul Crump, first movie, all that kind of stuff. It's a documentary about a guy. He's the only of 5 people who were charged with a murder during a daylight robbery, and that is on death row. And it's made in 66, 68, something like that. And Friedkin's like, he's standing in the grocery store and he sees this chaplain, and he's like, where's your parish or whatever? And he's like, I don't have a church. I'm the chaplain at Cook County Jail. which is in Chicago. And he goes, "Oh," and Friedkin says, "Have you ever met anyone you thought was innocent?" And he goes, "Yeah, there's a guy on death row right now that I think is innocent." And Friedkin's like, "Oh, that's really interesting." So he tells him the whole story. Daylight robbery, a security guard. So they rob a stockyard, and the security guard there is killed. And Friedkin thinks about him for days and days, and he calls the jail, and he's like, "I want to meet this guy." And the warden thinks he's innocent, and he's very famously against the death penalty. And then the chaplain obviously thinks he's innocent, all that jazz. And they're like, "Dude, he's about to die. He says like 6 months left. Do not go see this guy. There's no point. He's hardened by jail. At that point, he had been on death row for about 8 years, and he was like, he's just not. You're not gonna get any use of it." And he goes, "Well, at least let me meet him, as like an educational thing. Like maybe I want to make a documentary about this guy as for television. Maybe I can get him pardoned. All this kind of stuff." So they're like, "Okay, whatever." So he shoots this hour documentary, and they don't show it on TV because it's too controversial.
Mm-hmm.
But the first person to see it is the governor of Illinois, and he does pardon Paul Crump, gives him a life sentence instead of the death penalty. So Friedkin was saying in his intro that he was like, "It is really shoddily made, and it's embarrassing, but I cannot believe that I saved someone's life."
Yeah.
Wow.
Pretty cool.
That's hardcore.
Nice. Yeah.
One of the few filmmakers who's literally saved someone's life, like him and
Right.
Errol Morris.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rest in peace, Bill.
Rest in peace.
I don't know.
You're up there, Bill. Up there cursing that God, how pretentious he is. Probably criticize everything you do, God. Son of a bitch.
God's gonna be
saying,
pissed.
man,
God's
Lord-
gonna be
Lord's
pissed when
gonna kill me day one, man.
Scorsese also passes, because he's gonna have to hear from Bill Friedkin and Marty Scorsese for an eternity about all the ways he's fucked up.
Thanks for that.
But yeah, I think it's time to move on to one of our final segments. Choose background. Welcome to Connor's Wicked Games, sponsored by Chris Isaac. Every week I put a devious little game together and make everybody play it for awards that I'm counting. And basically everyone who's a guest I could like tell you your GPA, essentially, like your awards versus appearances. Today we're doing 2 rounds. First, we're doing a sort of basic William Friedkin trivia, 6 questions about his life that get a little more harder as they go on. I think I'm going to score it like last week, where the sooner you answer, the more points you get. If you change your answer, then that counts as to when you answered. I guess to start, an easy one, I think, maybe. What is Mr. William Friedkin's middle name?
John.
Leslie.
What was that? John, Leslie, and what?
James.
Unfortunately, you're all wrong. It is David. William David Friedkin.
It's my middle
Man,
name.
that's a stupid middle name.
Wow.
It's a biblical middle name.
Edwin, did you hear
Dang.
what I said before you just said that?
What, James?
That it was my middle name?
Oh. I didn't know that.
It's fine.
All right, number 2. In what major American city was Mr. William David Friedkin born in?
New York City.
Wow.
I'm gonna say New York. New York.
I'm gonna say Chicago.
I'm going to say Chicago. Well, for the variety's sake, I'll say Seattle.
Casey's right. It is Chicago. You get 2 points for that.
Yeah. Oh wow! I completely went invisible that time.
Yeah. we're all living in the shadows. How many times was Mr. William David Friedkin, born in Chicago, Illinois, married?
5.
1.
Or
What was that, Casey? You're like cutting out.
I'm just chilling.
What did you say? You're so quiet. Okay, 4. Once again, Casey's right. He gets 1 point for that one.
Fuck,
Yeah,
man.
baby.
Casey's fucking cheating, man.
You're right. I'm looking at my William Friedkin video game. As
He's using Game Genie.
It's not fair, man.
From which country did the parents of Mr. William David Friedkin, born in Chicago, married 4 times, immigrate from?
Italy.
Germany.
Poland.
Sorry, guys. You guys should have known. It's in the news lately. It's the Ukraine.
Interesting.
How the fuck?
And
Supposed to know that.
These last 2 are pretty tough. I'll give you a hint for this next one. Because originally I wasn't going to give the hint. Friedkin reunited with To Live and Die in L.A. star William Peterson on what episode of CSI Crime Scene Investigation? I'll give the hint.
I'm out.
The name of it
I'm out.
is a type of bug.
I'm out.
Scorpion. Fuck, I don't know. Scorpions aren't bugs. They're arachnids.
I refuse to participate in this question.
Weevil. That's my answer.
I'm gonna say centipede. I can't make an educated guess. So.
The name of the episode was Cockroaches.
Ah.
So, on last in this first round, on March 6th, 1981, Mr. William David Friedkin, born in Chicago, parents from Ukraine, director of the Cockroaches episode, married 4 times. He nearly died from a heart attack due to a birth defect in which part of his coronary artery?
The lower part.
I refuse to play.
Left.
You know what, Casey? I'm going to give you partial credit for that. It's the circumflex
Whoa.
left, or the left circumflex.
Whoa.
Um,
Okay, let's do it.
So Casey is definitely dominating after this first round. Edwin and Alex have yet to get on the board, but they'll definitely in the second round. We'll go Edwin, Alex, Casey. You'll like this second round. I have here
Better.
I have here a list of his 20 narrative feature films, including one that is yet to release. We're going to go around and each of you is going to name one. Again, we're going to go Edwin, Alex, Casey. When you name one, I'll take it. You get a point and I'll take it off the list. If you can't name one, you pass and you leave the game, and we'll keep going till everyone has to pass, essentially. And we'll see how many of his new movies we can name. So, Edwin, name any William Friedkin. And again, this is not his documentaries. It's his 20 narrative feature films. Edwin, name any film that he made.
The Hunted.
That is correct. That is one of the films. That's 1 point. Alex.
The Exorcist.
Yeah. Alex is playing more strategically at naming the more common ones first instead of Edwin. Edwin's strategy of naming a more obscure one. Casey.
Sorcerer.
Yep. Edwin, you got another one?
Yes, Rules of Engagement.
Yes. That is one of them.
Yeah.
Alex?
Cruising.
Correct. Casey?
To Live and Die in L.A.
Yep. Edwin, back to you.
The Guardian.
Correct. Alex?
The French Connection.
Yes. We're going to get a lot of these. I bet there's only going to be a couple left. Casey, back to you.
Killer Joe.
Edwin?
Somebody say
Rampage.
Alex?
Bug.
Yep. Casey?
Jade.
That is correct. Edwin?
The Guardian.
That one's already been named.
Already.
Oh. Hold on.
He's Googling. He's Googling. I can see him.
The Brinks job.
Yep.
Yeah, fuck Casey.
Alex?
I know that movie.
The Boys in the Band.
Of
Yep.
course.
The boys are in the band.
What?
when we were working the Palm Springs Festival this last year, they were me and Marina. They were doing a play version of The Boys in the Band, and all these elderly gay men kept coming in, and like we were like, "Do you want to go to 2001: Space Odyssey?" And they were like, "No, we were here to see The Boys in the Band." And I started doing that every once in a while, just like the boys are in the band. Yeah. I believe we are on Casey.
What do we say? The birthday party.
Yep.
Birthday party. Okay, there we go.
Edwin, there's 5 movies left.
5 movies, huh?
What can you
5
name one of them?
sins.
What did you just say?
Deal of the Century.
Yep, there you go. Alex?
12 Angry Men.
That's not one of the ones I have listed. That is a TV thing.
A TV movie, motherfucker!
Okay, it's a narrative feature film.
Yeah.
Edwin.
Ooh.
For television.
But you can try again.
Some TV.
Okay. Damn, I was saving another taste made for TV movie that he had done. All right, let's see.
I'll say
have we
this:
said-
one of the 4. There's 4 left. One of the 4 is yet to be released.
Yeah. I mean, I know that one. Should I save it or should I not? Have we said Jade yet?
Yes.
Yeah.
I said Jade.
Okay. All right. It's the Kane Mutiny Court Martial.
Yep. That is the name of his
Nice.
yet to be released final film.
With Kiefer Sutherland.
Yeah, I don't know what it's about. It sounds interesting. That's about a real.
I mean, the
real
Kane
event.
Mutiny is it's a movie from the 50s, I want to say, about mutiny on a ship.
Casey, can you name one
Anyway.
of the remaining 3 of his films? We actually mentioned one of these earlier. I'll say that.
Blue chips.
Yep. Blue
Oh, damn it.
Chips. Edwin, can you get one? There's 2 films left. Can you guess? Oh, he left. He's done.
I didn't show my slide.
He's Googling right now.
He's
Googling.
Googling.
That's what
I think okay, Edwin gets a minute. and then he's going to pass his turn to Alex.
I gotta think of the other 2.
I know.
Two left. One of these I've never heard of. So
Cool.
one of them I've
Okay,
definitely
you said-
heard of.
We said
Even though
King
I've not
Mutiny,
seen
we
it.
said The Hunted, we said Killer Joe, we said Jade, we said Bug, we said Rules of Engagement, we said To Live and Die in LA, we said Sorcerer, we said French Connection.
What was it
Ooh.
called? I know it, but I don't know the name.
All right, I'm gonna call Edwin.
We said Blue Chips, we said The Brinks Job, we said, ooh, there's a little cat. You get
What
it.
happened?
You get that right.
I don't know. You left.
No, what? I left? How'd I leave?
You let. We're all here. We're all still here.
Jesus
Hi,
Christ.
Edwin.
You gotta rejoin.
I thought the thing crashed or like the time ran out.
No. I got Zoom Premium, so time's not running out.
Nice.
Yeah, just join back in.
Yeah.
All right, it's your turn, Edwin. Can you name one of the last 2 movies you guys haven't named yet?
Good Times.
That's it. That's one of them. That's the
Damn.
one I've
Yeah,
never
guess-
heard of that one before. All right,
Yeah, you know who did it? Sonny and Cher.
Alex, can you name? You're not. So I'll go ahead and say this: Casey's won 100%. There's no way Casey doesn't win. Now it's the difference, Alex, whether or not you tie with Edwin or not.
Okay,
I wanna
so
beat Casey, man. I need to beat him.
I can't remember what it's called, but is it the one from like '83 between Cruising and To Live and Die in LA with
I already
Chevy
mentioned
Chase?
Is
I
not.
already
Which
mentioned
one is that?
That's the
Which
Brinks
Deal of the
job.
century.
That's
Or-
the
and
Brinks
Deal of
job.
the Century.
Oh, Deal of the Century. Yeah, that's what it was.
I'll give you. I think you get about 40 seconds before I've
All right.
got a little clock, and you gotta see if you can disassociate and think of the name
Yeah.
of this movie.
Well, the other made-for-TV movie I was holding on to was Cat Squad
It's not that.
by the same writer of To Live and Die in LA. There's also The Devil and Father Amorth. That's a documentary.
Yeah, he's made a handful. He's made about 6 or so documentaries, right? I think. Something like
Yeah,
that.
something like that.
Not quite
Man.
as many as Scorsese. So he makes a whole lot.
Yeah, it's not. I don't think I'm gonna get it.
Casey, you get an opportunity. Do you want? Technically, this is all for show at this point. But Casey, do you want to? Can you guess it? It's your turn.
I can't guess it. The only thing I'm feeling is that did we say The Exorcist?
We did.
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
Whoa. Then yeah, I can't guess it.
Gotta learn to play the game, Case.
Edwin,
What?
can you guess the last movie? You
Uh,
guys got more than I actually thought, to be honest. I mean, I was not expecting it to get down to the last one, to be honest, because there's a bunch of these that I was looking at. And I was like,
We made 100,000 with Friedkin, baby.
Edwin.
You know it, Edwin?
I got it. I remember there's one more movie he made in the 60s. There's one more movie he did. He made 2 movies in the 60s.
Oh wait, did
the
you say
one.
Rampage? Sorry.
No. I said Rampage. I said
Sorry.
it. The raid of the.
Oh, I know it. Can I go back?
The raid that
The-
Nepinski.
The night
Yeah.
they raided Minsky's.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that one.
Yes.
I won.
Well,
It was a group effort there.
you got second place.
I said Rampage. I said Exorcist.
I said.
Also, those Cat Squad movies that he made for TV have Ennio Morricone scores for some reason.
Ooh.
Nice. So, yeah, you Casey got the gold, Edwin the silver, Alex the bronze.
Yeah, baby.
Shameful
A
bronze.
shameful bronze. It's better. Yeah, I'm trying to think. Which of you? I guess right now, Casey has the best GPA. So you've been on twice, and you've gotten a gold and a silver. So out of the three of you, technically, Ashley and Daniel hold the standard because they've both been on once and they both got gold. So
Damn.
that's how you do it. You come in once. I gotta tell Ashley about the way the system works, and she'll just refuse to ever come on again. Keep her record spotless.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then lastly, Edwin, did you happen to pick anything even remotely relevant to show for your Edwin's cool stuff bit? It's Edwin's cool stuff.
I hate that theme song. I demand to be changed. I demand the theme song to be changed. I want to change.
You gotta talk over it.
I want to. I want to be over.
I added in a fade out just for you.
Okay, it's over? Okay, good. All right, so I went down to Cinephile. Went down there with Marina. I made her get a poster of Prophecy. So rock and roll. Thank you. Um, I rented a motion picture called Watermelon Man, directed by Melvin Van Peebles. And I got the Howie Mandel motion picture experience, Walk Like a Man. I also got Crispin Glover's most psychotic role, Ruben and Ed.
You don't have
I also
anything
got-
like a poster or William Friedkin poster you could show us?
No, because I have my cruising poster, but I don't know where it is.
Yeah, what about all that cruising stuff you brought to the recording of an audio podcast that had no video when we did the cruising podcast?
That's somewhere in my room. I don't know where it is. It's in the bag. It's in the bag. Somewhere.
Could you find it within the next 30 seconds?
He didn't even get up.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
spending all that time
burning
just thinking
time.
about it.
Okay, all right. I got one. All right. I have a DVD of Jade on my bed.
Can't even see it because of the
Nice.
background. it's
No.
encroaching it.
How do I get rid of this?
I don't know.
The Hot in Cleveland cast
There.
is eagerly
There.
awaiting. Nice.
Happy?
Moderately.
Valerie Bertinelli loves it.
I mean,
I don't know what happens
I'm
when
not
we-
happy enough that I'm going to stop seeing my psychiatrist. I'll say that.
You told your psychiatrist from me to say, hey, fuck you.
All right, I will. I'll relay the message.
Okay,
I'm sure his response will be who? Because actually, to be honest, Edwin, I have yet to bring you up to my psychiatrist, so I think that's probably a good sign for you.
Me and Alex are constantly
guess what,
brought up.
Connor? You let me talk to your psychiatrist. Let me talk to him and say, hey, you gotta chill on these smart talk. Give my boy Connor, man. You're changing him, man. You're changing him. I don't like it. Only one bit, man.
You said you want to see a psychiatrist? Is that what you said?
No, I want to see the psychiatrist. I want to talk to him, man. I want to, hey,
Oh.
man, you see my boy Connor, man. You're changing him, man. He changed, man. He changed.
I have changed. I'm a dog now.
No.
Any
pills.
yeah,
Spoilers for Love on a Leash.
yeah. Which I think we're gonna talk about in a couple weeks, to be honest.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Anything else? Any plugs anybody wants to do? Anything people want to shout out? I don't have anything to shout out. Plugs, just, follow me on Twitch. Like and share the videos on YouTube with your friends. It helps more exposure. Helps motivate me more to do this again if you like it. I set up a Gmail, cinemacurse@gmail.com. And so check that out. And I haven't posted anything, or not, check it out. If you have like stuff you want to send us in, either things to read or questions, I don't know, questions is weird, but like opinions about whatever we're talking about. I've set up a TikTok and Instagram. I think I'm going to try to post clips up there. At CinemaCurse666, both of those.
Nice.
And anybody got any plugs? Casey?
Stream Hot in Cleveland on Paramount Plus, and
Or not.
email
Or not. Just watch something
email-
better. Watch
email your
watch-
favorite episodes to
Watch
the
Wings.
Gmail,
Watch Mork and Mindy.
and I'll
No.
yeah, maybe watch a show made this century. Thank you.
Fuck. Barbara Crampton is not the fucking Los Feliz.
Oh fuck.
Damn.
Oh,
Rip.
That's
no.
bullshit.
Yeah, it's too bad she's there, considering my terrorist plot that's going off tonight, where I'm destroying it. But I'm trying to natively organically build listeners by making the NSA want to listen. So,
Jesus Christ.
but yeah, here I'm gonna turn this shit off.
Well, in that case, this is for what's that? What's that? Give me a second. I'm gonna shoot out a salute for Freakin'. So I hope you can hear it.
Nope,
Can't wait.
can't hear it.
Yeah,
Okay, well that failed.
this is my jam.
Silent.
It's the Hot in Cleveland. It's the
It's-
Hot in Cleveland theme song, everyone.
It's that song that's just like 4 minutes of silence.
Ba, 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 ba.
Oh, how about now? How about now?
Oh, I mean, no, we can't hear it.
Nope. We can see you sort of lightly gyrating.
Well, that's me firing a machine gun in the air.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Oh, are you firing a
Alright.
machine gun? Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
because he fired
Awesome.
blanks on the Exorcist set to make people uneasy.
I was going to hear this. This is ridiculous.
Well,
It's-
you can hear it, and that's all that matters.
That's all that matters.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks to everybody who was on. I want to say a preemptive thank you to Brian Robert for composing our outro. And next week we're finally doing it, the Haunted Mansion special. Everyone's favorite new. It's been breaking records left and right. They extended its IMAX release through the end of October. They booted Scorsese out of there. No, I'm just kidding. We're talking Blue Beetle and the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie and the current state of superhero movies. I'm calling the episode The Superhero Bubble, which is a very clickbaity title, but whatever.
Well, guess what, Connor? I saw Turtles. It was a
Good.
masterpiece.
We'll talk about it next week.
And guess what? It's better than Spider-Verse.
Whoa!
It's for I
Spoilers for
like
next week's
both a
episode.
lot.
I think Turtles is much better. There's no betrayal. There's no backstabbing. There's no like, oh, you're just a kid. Like, yeah, I'm gonna do my own thing. There's none of that crap in Turtles. It's pure.
You're using all
old
your material.
fun.
You're losing. Yeah, you're just wasting energy for next week.
Well,
Next
guess
week you're
what?
gonna be like,
I'll
I'm not gonna say anything I haven't already said.
But yeah, until then, God bless. Goodbye, citizens.
Goodbye, Twitch.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, America.
Stream on Cleveland.